We need to close the gate quickly. Hurry faster. Soldiers were carrying Butler's body. They shouted, "Butler is here! Close the gates!" Roman saw the opportunity and dashed with the full speed towards the gates. Cullen noticed Roman in the form of Red Shadow. He shouted from above, "No, stop him!" Roman was moving very fast and his eyes were glowing with the purple aura. Soldiers were standing at the gate to stop Roman from entering the castle. One of them said, "Activate the defense spell as soon as you close the gate." Another soldier shouted, "Roman Dmitri!" Roman attacked the soldiers with his aura blast. There was a big explosion at the gate. Only one shadow figure was visible at the gate. As the smoke cleared, Roman shouted and enhanced his voice with mana. "The gates are open!" His voice echoed throughout the battlefield. "Charge! Destroy the people of Hector!" Count Fabius ordered the troops with loud voice. "Take care of all the remnants of Hector's army." Both armies rushed at each other. Real war was over now, only bloodshed of Hector army lays ahead. Roman's personal army didn't let anyone flee from the Hector army. Land was filled with blood. The operation to open the gates is a success. Now we have one goal left, Roman thought while moving forward in the castle. Roman's gaze turned to one person. Edwin Hector. Roman thought, "Edwin Hector, you are the only one left." Roman was standing face to face in front of Edwin. In this oppressive situation, Edwin Hector felt confused. He thought, where did it go wrong? The plan was perfect. Just by subduing the enemies in the rear position with a surprise attack, he thought that he made the right decision. It was then Roman Dmitri appeared. It's all because of him. Edwin Hector was full of rage and red aura covered his whole body as he looked at Roman Dmitri. Right. Roman Dmitri. It is all because of him. There was no other reason. Roman Dmitri defended the 5th defensive line, which was supposed to be taken as planned. With his guerrilla operation, Roman led the troops to defeat the Hector Kingdom. As a result, thousands of the Hector Kingdom soldiers died. If God existed, he wanted to ask him one thing. He made himself known as the Star of Hector. Then why did he send Roman Dmitri to the Cairo Kingdom? Roman said in taunting voice. At last we finally meet again, Edwin replied. Yes, finally we meet again. He raised his mana. Hearing the screams of soldiers from all directions, Edwin Hector knew that it would be difficult to return alive. But he had no intention of dying so helplessly. Even if I die, Roman Dmitri, you will be my companion to the underworld. He opened the magic circles. Edwin Hector risked his life. The magic circles opened. To be precise, it assimilated with nature in a state most receptive to mana. It was the magic of the magicians. As a result of being unable to use magic for a while, Edwin Hector had more power than before. Wind Blade! The first to react was Edwin Hector. Seeing Roman Dmitri rushing to him, he raised the Wind Blade and immediately attempted to attack. It was an invisible and intangible power. But Roman could easily sense the Wind Blade, assess its direction, and dodge it quickly. When the attack was blocked, the Knights of Hector rushed in. Die! Protect the prince! Aura exploded all over. It was a situation where both sides wanted something. Edwin Hector knew better than to try to have a fair fight. Dealing with Roman Dmitri was his top priority, regardless of the means. Herbivore. He made a single blow. He increased his mana from his Dantian. As soon as the Heavenly Demon Sword technique was released, Roman used his aura to cut down all the enemies. All the knights died at once. It was truly spectacular. Despite this sight, Edwin Hector and his soldiers weren't shocked. As they observed Roman's progress all this time, they knew they didn't have to be shocked at this. Entangle! Edwin Hector controlled a tree trunk with a wave of his hand to limit Roman's movement, and made sure the archers could fire. Then he immediately began to cast a follow-up attack. Inferno! It was powerful fire magic. It was the 4th magic circle. In terms of damage, this magic had tremendous explosive power. It was like a dragon's breath. Just being near it was enough to melt the skin, and even Roman Dmitri wouldn't be able to survive it. But Roman cut the fire with his sword. Lightning blade! He wasn't going to back down. A bright light flashed. He cast his most powerful magic, and only had one target. The bundle of lightning fired away from Edwin's hands. Did I finish him? After casting the spell, he felt a strong tingling sensation in his hand. At the cost of countless lives, he thought he had finally taken down Roman. Merging from the lightning, Roman rushed to Edwin Hector. Even in the eyes of people like Edwin Hector, Roman's movement had transcended human limits. He appeared in a flash behind Edwin. Edwin Hector, I will acknowledge you. But this is the end. When Edwin heard these words, and turned around, Roman swung the sword. It was an attack that the magician's body couldn't respond to. This time, the moment he thought it was done, Roman sensed a strange movement. Blood splashed. Prince! It was Kellen. He followed Roman from the gates and tried to stop him, but he was unable to stand back as Edwin was in danger. His chest was brutally impaled by Roman's sword. Blood splashed. Edwin Hector's expression turned pale. Please, please! Run! Kellen spit out blood. His eyes were losing focus. It felt like Edwin was losing his mind. Edwin shouted in loud voice. Kellen! No! His eyes turned red. He has seen many of his comrades die from Roman's hand. Roman, witnessing this, said, That's pathetic. But I'll let you follow him soon. As Roman was going to behead Edwin Hector's soldiers rushed at Roman to save Edwin. They attacked Roman, but Roman easily blocked their attack. Then Edwin Hector's body was pushed back. It was Jackson. As Edwin groaned and tried to shake off his hand, Jackson shouted, Do you want to die here? The people gave their lives to save their prince, their only prince, Edwin Hector. You deserve to live, so survive until the end. Even if you are labeled a coward and a loser, survive so that the sacrifices of those who cared for you are not in vain. Everyone retreat! Give up the fort! The order to retreat echoed across the battlefield. Roman followed Jackson. As Hector's soldiers attacked Roman to buy time for them to escape, he slashed them down. Edwin Hector widened his eyes. Jackson was crying, and Kellen was wounded. Everything was a mess. He couldn't think clearly in this whirlwind of emotions he'd never felt before. Only one thought appears in his mind: Roman Dmitri is the devil. Right behind him, he could hear his men dying. The ranger unit received orders from Jackson, and when told to buy time, they threw away their lives. Still, they couldn't stop Roman. The man was a 3-star swordsman. This is a battle you already won. Why are you doing this? He wanted to know his intentions. Roman said, I clearly warned you. The moment we meet again, I will kill all of you. This war started because you crossed the border, so stop crying like you are the victim. Roman immediately went for his head. The captain fell. After that, Roman shouted with loud and dominating voice. The war was over. Hector's army have all retreated. Victory for Cairo. Where is Roman Dmitri? They had to meet and congratulate Cairo's hero, who led them to victory. Count Fabius hurried his steps. The other nobles followed him so they wouldn't lose. As they climbed the stairs of the fort wall, they witnessed a shocking sight. There were corpses everywhere. The grounds were littered with dead bodies, and blood splashed everywhere, even on the walls. Roman Dmitri was there, drenched in blood from the fierce battle he had fought, and with countless corpses lying near him. They realized right away that these dead bodies were the work of Roman Dmitri. They knew he was strong, but when they checked the result here, they felt goosebumps rise. They suddenly thought, the existence that overturned a war that seemed impossible to overcome, Roman Dmitri's value will soar to the sky in the future. Their prediction was right. Not long after, the shocking news that he had achieved victory swept throughout the Cairo kingdom. Roman looked at them with glowing eyes covered with blood and said, They are finally here. This episode ends here. If you want next part, please like and comment.